Good afternoon to you and welcome to Business Today. It is a beautiful day because we've gotten numbers. Now, the September inflation numbers are out courtesy of the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, KNBS. And the key number is that the September inflation hit 3.6%. Now, this is a drop from August inflation rate of 4.4%. And this actually is the issue. The inflation is going down from 4.4% to 3.6%. But the bigger question is, are people feeling it on the ground? There's always that disconnect that you're saying inflation is going down, but our cost of living, it's still high. That's why right here on Business Today, we're about to examine the finer detail of things. My name is Noki Kumbo, and welcome to the show. Without wasting much time, let's take a look at the numbers. Now, we have the broader categorization when it comes to inflation numbers. First of all, inflation is the tech basket, household basket in terms of spending and the change in the cost of these particular items. Now, food and non-alcoholic beverages, month-on-month inflation, that is the price between August and September, went up 0.4%. And year-on-year, it went up 5.1%. So from last year, if you're spending 100 bob on food or any non-alcoholic beverage, on average, a year after, you're spending 5 shillings more, unfortunately. All right? But here, month on month, it's just gone up 0.4%. Moving on swiftly, still on this issue, broader categorization, we're talking about housing, water, electricity, gas, and other fuels. This is within the household. We have month on month inflation actually dropping 0.1%. So between August and September, the cost of this basket of commodities, of services and goods went down 0.1%, but year on year, it went up 2.6%. Now, this starts explaining the disparity that we've seen in regards to sometimes you feel last year I was doing slightly better, inflation is going down, but still, it doesn't translate to something tangible to myself. So there we see year on year 2.6%. Moving on to the issue of transport, actually, we need to move. For a country to be productive, movement is critical. Month on month, it went up 0.1%, and year on year, it went up 0.5%. So not much or major changes in regards to transport inflation. We have restaurant and accommodation services went up year on year 4.4%, month on month 0.3%. Then we have matters ICT, information and communication, month on month, it didn't change, and year on year 1.4%. Then we had alcoholic beverages, tobacco, and narcotics. And here it's quite interesting because month on month it changed 0.2%, but year on year it went up 7.7%, which is quite a marginal jump, if I may put it. Now we want to take a look at the specific commodities, because when you talk about inflation, you can throw out the numbers and the figures and say, oh, inflation is at 3.6%, but what does that mean? At the end of the day, there are essentials that are considered in terms of calculating this particular number. And these essentials actually specifically, we are looking at commodities. Food is one of the major drivers of inflation. We have food and matters to do with energy. Now, when it comes to food, specifically Irish potatoes, because we eat a lot of Irish potatoes as a country. Year on year, actually, inflation went up 31.2%. This is from September last year to September this year. 31.2% rise in Irish potatoes prices. Now, specifically, let's take a look. This is 1 kg of potatoes. In September 2023, a kg cost 101 shillings and 77 cents on average. Now, in August 2024, that was the month before last month, it went up to 130 shillings and 57 cents. So almost 29 or 28 shillings rise just in the period of 11 months. And now, year on year, which they used to calculate or tabulate inflation, that ended up with this 31.2%, is that in September 2024, a kg of Irish potatoes hit 133 shillings and 57 cents respectively. So look at that jump from 101 shillings a year ago to 133 shillings and 57 cents a year after. Now, you take just this example and you tell somebody, oh, inflation has been going down. Your life should be easier. It doesn't make sense because of these nitty-gritties. They say the devil is in the detail, all right? There we have our Irish potatoes. Moving on to another thing that we like is fish, because fish is a good source of protein. And fish is quite expensive if we go by kgs, all right? So in September 2023, this is almost a year ago, just slightly over a year ago, a kg of fish was costing 587 shillings and 42 cents. All right? Now, in September 2024, a year after, a kg of fish actually cost 636 shillings and 26 cents. And in August, now this one is computing month on month. The previous month, it was 623 shillings and 47 cents. And just within a month, there was almost a change of, this is almost 13 shillings. A change of 13 shillings month on month. Now that's a kg. Imagine when you scale that out. And of course, there are factors that lead to this rise of costing. But fish, fresh fish, inflation, 8.3% year on year. Quite a concern right there, because we're talking about food security, affordability of food. When prices of food are going up, it becomes a concern. Now, within also this categorization, under KNBS, they categorize this as beef with bones, okay? So if you have beef without bones, I don't know how we categorize that, but beef with bones, inflation year on year went up 14.5%, and in September 2023, a kg of beef with bones, because bones have very nice soup, it cost 557 shillings and 97 cents. And in September 2024, that is a year after, it cost 639 shillings and 3 cents. Look at that massive jump, equating to 14.5% change of inflation. Just the month prior to August, it was 633. That is on August, and then September, 639. So 6 shillings difference, and this is massive when it comes to affordability. These are the, though these days when you go to the butchery, actually they sell you, even if you want 50 bob, they'll cut for you 4 pieces and give you and tell you, go eat that. So initially when they used to measure per kg, these days people prefer whichever amount you have, just provide it and you get the quantity for that amount. Now, another commodity that has faced major change when it comes to prices under the food category is the issue of cabbages. And cabbages, I like the rhyme. They say cabbages has good roughage, okay? Or roughages. I don't know whether that's correct English. But cabbages went up 39.5% year on year. That is a huge jump in prices. September 2023, a kilogram of cabbage was costing 56.16. That is 56 shillings and 16 cents. A year after, it jumped to 78 shillings and 33 cents. That is a massive jump just within a year, equating to 39.5% inflation when it comes to cabbage. Maize. As a country, we love maize. We are a maize country. We are amazed most of the times, yeah? Like the MPs want for them to be going for 7 years. Amazing. Fortunately, what is going on right there. But maize, actually, the price went down 19.8%. All right? So that negative just indicates that year on year, the price of maize, kg of maize actually went down 19.8%. And September, it cost 74 shillings and 41 cents in 2023. And a year after, it's gone down to 59 shillings and 64 cents Beans. When you combine the maize and the beans, you have yourself some nice githeri right there. But beans went up 0.2% year on year. September, a kg was 184 shillings and 67 cents. And now, just last month, 185 shillings and 7 cents. And finally, this issue of onions, because onions is one of those most volatile ones, which is normally a concern. We normally have, actually, we import a lot of onions from Tanzania sometimes, yeah? But September 2023, a kg of onions was going for 151 shillings, and in September 2024, 162, inflation of 7.6%. Now, also milk. You know, you like some good tea. Milk, actually 500 ml, there was a drop in prices, actually negative 0.8% when it comes to inflation. September 2023, it was 57 shillings and 47 cents. And September 2024, 57 shillings and 4 cents. So milk prices have dropped relatively. Sugar, when you're making your tea, you want some sugar, though I have so many friends that are not taking sugar these days due to health concerns and whatnot. But sugar prices also went down 29.7%. And in September last year, a kg cost 218 shillings and 78 cents. And now a kg costs roughly 153 shillings and 80 cents. I think matters to do with energy. Energy is powerful because we need to cook our food, we need to warm our homes. Now, in a sustainable age that we live in right now, charcoal, there is still a sizable amount of the population that uses charcoal, and charcoal inflation went up 19.1%. Initially, it used to cost, a year ago, a kg of charcoal will cost you 71 shillings and 66 cents, and now, a year after, it is 85 shillings and 32 cents. That's why people say that issue of inflation going down and meaning that our cost of living is going down, unfortunately, is not the case. Let's talk about gas, because a lot of people are taking up gas as a means of cooking. Gas 13 kg, they were using 13 kg in computation of this, went up 14.3% year on year. September last year, it used to cost 2,795 shillings and 69 cents. And now, a year after, in the year 2024, it's at 3,196 shillings and 4 cents. And still, we still cut you 2.75% for SHA. By the way, SHA just texted me. They say that they have migrated my account from NHIF to SHA. Successfully. Still on matters electricity costs went down 2.7%. Initially, a year ago, it cost on average 1,310 shillings, and a year after, 1,275 shillings and 5 cents. So essentially, that is matters inflation. The month of September, you've looked at the numbers, is 3.6%. It's dropped from August, 4.4%. Now, I was asking some economists, what exactly is going on here? And some economists, like I talked to one of my good friend, Ken Gishunga, and he says that there's concern of deflation if this inflation continues to go down as it is. Others were like, we're still within range. If we go below 3%, then we are entering the zone of deflation, and that also has its consequences. But as it stands, the month of September 2024, inflation is at 3.6%. And that's where we put a full stop to that discussion on matters inflation, and we move swiftly to forest management.